Hello, everybody, and welcome to another One Stop Wrestling podcast. I'm Alex. WrestleMania 40 is in the books now, and I'm going to be bringing you recap, review, and star ratings for all the matches. So, night 2 was last night, and it was an absolutely incredible night of wrestling. Top to bottom, the card was brilliant. The matches were brilliant. The booking was spot on. It really was a great night for WWE and a great night to be a professional wrestling fan. People are talking online, one of the best WrestleManias of all time. One of the best main events of all time. It really was a great night of wrestling and a big improvement on night 1. Night 1 was still pretty good, very solid show, but night 2 was just incredible. So we're going to dive into it. We'll do something we don't usually do, and we'll go straight to the main event because this really was unbelievable. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Universal Championship. What a match. Oh my goodness. The moments that were created in this match, the drama, the crowd were on fire the whole match. This was incredible. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time. It's up there with Chris Benoit, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels at 20. Shawn Michaels and Undertaker at 26. This had everything. Absolutely everything. Pure cinema, theatre, like I said, drama, false finishes, so much interference, but it was amazing. It was amazing. So I'll just run through the match quickly. The entrances were epic, as you'd expect. The match starts off quite cagey. They sort of wrestle for the first 15, 20 minutes, and it's a really good wrestling match. Like, there's bloodline rules, but they didn't use many weapons at all. I think Roman got a few kendo stick shots, and Cody tried to use a table, but Roman said no, and put the table back under to huge boos. And then after the wrestling and there were a couple of cool near falls off spears, and Roman hit a crossroads, Cody hit a spear. There were a few other moves. It was just a really good wrestling match, and then everything went up a notch. We got the expected bloodline interference from first Jimmy Uso, who super kicked Cody, and immediately Jey Uso came out and cut Jimmy off to a huge pop. That was a real cool moment because they fought up the ramp and Jey speared Jimmy right off the ramp, off the stage, through like some tables that were set up below, which was a really cool moment. Then we got Solo, as expected. Solo hit a spike, draped Roman over Cody. Real cool near fall. Then an even better near fall. Solo and Roman hit the spike and spear combination. Cody kicked out. The crowd were going nuts. And then John Cena's music hit. Oh my God, what a moment. Cena came out to a huge ovation. He got rid of Solo with a big AA through the table. He managed to hit Reigns with an AA. And then you hear, if you smell, here comes the final boss. The Rock made his way out to the ring. And what a WrestleMania moment The Rock and John Cena had. Big stare down. The crowd were off their feet and became unglued for this. They had such a big history at WrestleMania. 2 main events in a row at 28 and 29. And this just brought it all back to see The Rock and Cena stare each other down in 2024. Incredible. Rock disposed of Cena very quickly with a quick rock bottom. He gets the weight belt out. He's going to whip Cody. And then you hear the Shield's music. And I'm not going to lie, I genuinely thought there was a real strong chance we may see Jon Moxley come out. I don't know how that would ever have worked with him working for AEW, if they could have done a one-night deal or something. But no, it didn't happen. Seth Rollins, bless his soul, came out battered, beaten. He could barely move in his Shield attire and was immediately taken out with a Superman punch from Roman Reigns. Seth has been through the mill over this weekend. Then The Rock proceeds to carry on with the weight belt. And what do you hear? The Undertaker's gong. Oh my God. Incredible. The pop was monstrous for The Undertaker. Lights go out, lights come back on. Taker is stood behind Rock in an epic visual. Big choke slam. That gets rid of The Rock. Lights go out again, lights come back on. And it's Cody, Roman, and a battered Seth Rollins in the ring. And in the middle of the ring is a steel chair. Roman gets to his feet first. He's looking to hit Cody with a chair, and then he sees Rollins dragging himself up the ropes. And this is a fantastic piece of storytelling, because instead of hitting Cody, Roman decided to turn his attention to Seth, and he whacked Seth straight in the back with a chair, and Seth went down almost exactly the same way that Roman Reigns did 10 years ago when Rollins turned on the Shield and disbanded the faction. Amazing storytelling, because Roman Reigns just couldn't let it go. He could not get over the fact that Seth Rollins ripped apart him and his brothers all those years ago. He's never really got a true measure of revenge, and this was it for him. But in that moment, he took his eye off Cody. Cody Rhodes hit 3 crossroads and finished his story. Absolutely incredible moment. The crowd were jubilant. Everybody came down to the ring. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, CM Punk. Brandy Rhodes was in there. Cody's mom, Michelle. I think -1 was in there. Brody Lee's son, Brody Jr. A whole host of people lifted Cody up on their shoulders. It was the huge babyface crowning moment. Absolutely amazing. All this was going on. Seth Rollins was still a battered mess on the outside. He did a fantastic job. He really was Cody's shield throughout the whole weekend, and I don't think Cody could have done it without him. Incredible. Absolutely incredible main event. People may say, oh, it was overbooked to death, and it was. It was overbooked, but it was cinema at its absolute best. 5 stars. It could be no other rating than 5 stars. Absolutely incredible. Great match. Great storytelling. Great cinema. Great theatre. I was on my feet the whole time. So were the Philadelphia crowd. They were on fire. This was just absolutely brilliant. And Cody Rhodes is the new WWE champion, fulfilling his story in one of the greatest moments in WrestleMania history. A true feel-good moment. And a side note, shout out to Roman Reigns for an absolutely epic championship reign. 1,316 days, 3.5 years. Say what you want about Roman Reigns, but he's had arguably the greatest title reign of the last 30 years. Certainly of the modern era. He's added so much prestige to that title. His star power is undeniable. And he's done an absolutely brilliant job. So congratulations to Roman Reigns for an epic title run. But this was all about Cody. And the moments we got with Rock and Cena and Taker. Incredible. Incredible. This will live on in fans' memories for decades to come. Amazing. Oh, now that's out of the way, we will move on to the rest of the card. So they opened up with Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. And this was a bit of a one-sided match. It was a very good match. It was very good. They told the story that Seth was was beaten down and almost at like 50% practically after night one's match with The Rock and Roman Reigns. And Drew McIntyre dominated this match. Seth got a couple of hope spots in with a couple of curb stomps, and he tried his best, but it wasn't enough. Drew hit 4 claymores in the end and pinned Seth Rollins to become the new world champion. Really solid match. Seth did kick out of a few claymores, as I mentioned, which added some cool drama and nice near falls, but they worked really well. It wasn't like the longest match ever. It was maybe about the 10-minute mark, but really solid match. And Drew McIntyre, deservedly, I think, wins the World Heavyweight Championship. But that's not the story from this match, because the crowd received Drew's win quite well. They thought, yeah, you do deserve it. But Drew, after his win, wasn't satisfied with just holding up the championship, celebrating and leaving. He decided to go and mock and taunt CM Punk, who was sat on commentary. McIntyre got in his face, lauded over the fact that he just won the world championship, and Punk had enough. Punk hit him with his protective cast type thing on his arm, put the boots to McIntyre. McIntyre was laid out, and then another incredible moment. Here comes Damian Priest with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Priest immediately cashes in, rolls McIntyre in the ring, hits the South of Heaven chokeslam, and Damian Priest is the new World Heavyweight Champion. Amazing moment again. The crowd went absolutely ballistic for the cash-in. It felt quite similar to Dolph Ziggler's cash-in. It was that type of cash-in. And great storytelling again. McIntyre just has this obsession with Punk that he can't shake. So much so that he couldn't just take his world championship out and just be done with it. He had to go and get right in Punk's face and taunt him about the fact that he just won the World Heavyweight Championship and that Punk couldn't fulfill his dream of main event in WrestleMania. And it cost Drew. He had no one but himself to blame. The match itself is, I'll give it 3.5 stars. The overall angle with Punk and Priest was brilliant. Really was brilliant. The overall angle was a 4.25 star angle. Brilliant cash in, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see where they go with Damian Priest. He may be a transitional champion. I think that might be the case, but still, brilliant moment. The second match of the night was the Philadelphia Street Fight between Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament, made up of AOP and Karrion Kross. Really fun match, really fun. It wasn't like anything amazing, but just such a fun little match after such a big moment to just cool the crowd down a little bit and just give them something to smile about. Bubba Ray Dudley was the special referee. Made sense as they're in Philadelphia, one of the ECW icons. And Snoop Dogg was on commentary, and he was brilliant, I have to say. Sometimes I didn't have a clue what he was talking about, but you could tell he was so happy to be there. He was passionate about what he was watching. And you can tell he just loves wrestling. And he was great. Snoop Dogg was brilliant. So much entertainment. And this was just a really fun, match for the baby faces, because Karrion Kross got in Bubba Dudley's face, and then from then on in, it was practically a handicap match with Bubba Dudley teaming up with Lashley and the Profits. They did a load of Team 3D or Dudley Boys moves from back in the day. They did the Wazza from the top rope, and then Bubba, Lashley and the Street Profits all did the get the tables. They placed Karrion Kross on, I think it was Karrion Kross, on one of the tables, and Montez Ford did a giant splash off the top rope, and that was it. 1, 2, 3. So, not a hell of a lot to say about it. Just a really fun match. Really fun. We give that one 3 stars. Then we moved on to LA Knight versus AJ Styles. LA Knight's first match at WrestleMania. I have to say, this was a very, very good match. Very physical, which was needed with the feud because it was a personal feud. You know, you had LA Knight invading AJ Styles' home. AJ Styles cost LA Knight an opportunity at the world title. They worked very physical. They hit hard. They worked really hard. Both guys worked really hard. And they produced a really, really good match. Both guys got a chance to do their stuff and to shine. AJ looked really good. LA Knight looked really good. Not much else to say. Just a really, really good match. And a great showing for LA Knight in his first WrestleMania. The only thing I would say is that when the finish came, it almost felt like it came out of nowhere. Like the match was just starting to ramp up into that final gear, and then the finish came. So maybe they could have gone an extra 5 minutes. I don't know what their time schedule was, but regardless of that, still a really, really good match. Excuse me. Lots of physicality. Pretty much everything you'd want from this, and LA Knight went over clean, which was the right result. So yeah, great bit of booking. Really, really strong match. Give that one 3 3/4 stars. Next match was the United States title match. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens challenging Logan Paul in a triple threat match. Again, it's similar to the last few. Another great match. Really, really strong match. The entrance of Randy Orton and Kevin Owens was brilliant. Kevin Owens comes down on the golf cart. Orton's music plays. Then Owens reverses back up the ramp and picks up Orton and bombs it down that ramp. You could almost see Randy telling KO to just slow down a bit before he went overboard. But really cool entrance. Essentially, Orton and Owens just battered Logan Paul for the first 5-10 minutes. It was like a 2-on-1 handicap match. Obviously, the dissension was going to come eventually because they both want to win the match. And it turned into a really cool triple threat match. Some great sequences, great spots. One of the highlights of the match was the guy dressed in the Prime bottle. Obviously, last year it was KSI who took a massive frog splash through the table. This year it was I Show Speed. And this was brilliant. This was hilarious as well. So he pulls Orton out of the ring to stop a pinfall on Logan Paul. And then he gets in Orton's face and starts throwing F-bombs and starts barking at him like a dog. So Orton just boots him straight in the chest, and I Show Speed goes flying. Then Orton gets him on the table, barks back in his face, and gives I Show Speed a huge RKO on the announce table. As if that happened at WrestleMania. Again, this is just the magic of WrestleMania, how you can create amazing moments like this. But yeah, really strong match. All three guys shone. All three guys got their stuff in. And in the end, we got a really, really cool looking RKO. So Owens goes for the pop-up powerbomb, and whilst Orton's in midair, he transitions into an RKO. Seamless. Absolutely seamless. Which is everything you'd expect from Randy Orton. One of the most polished in-ring workers, I think, in WWE history. And Logan Paul took advantage of that. Threw Orton out the ring, hit a frog splash, and retained his championship. Brilliant match, and I have to say, the right result. Paul still has a lot of steam as a heel. He is over as a heel. The crowd hated him tonight, and there's still a lot of miles left in his championship run. And it'll be a really cool moment when somebody eventually does take it off him. So yeah, again, a great piece of booking by Triple H or whoever came up with this match. Yeah. So next match was the women's WWE Women's Championship match between the champion Io Sky and Bayley. And this was, I think, the best match of the night up to this point. Bayley and Io absolutely killed it in there. Amazing psychology again. So Io worked on the knee practically the whole match, and Bayley took a misstep early on, and Io lasered in on her knee and did a fantastic job working over it. She was smashing it into the post, put submissions on her, and Bayley's selling was top notch. Every time she got up, she favoured the knee. She did a fantastic job making it look like she was in a real struggle to overcome the pain in her knee to try and become the women's champion. This was a fantastic match. It really was. And the crowd was so into it. Probably more than anything else that happened on the show, bar maybe Damien Priest's cash-in. The crowd were on fire and they wanted Bayley to win so bad. And Bayley did a fantastic job and showed that she belongs on this stage. And also a shout out to Io Sky as well, who was phenomenal. Io hasn't had a lot of pay-per-view matches during her championship reign, or a lot of, long, important singles matches to showcase her skills. But this was one of them, and Io did a great job. Some of the near falls by the end were great. Io hit a moonsault and then a triple moonsault to Bayley. Excuse me. And this was, the best match of the night up until this point. The two ladies did a fantastic job. Great psychology. Great selling. You could really believe in Bayley's struggle, and the crowd believed in it too, which is why they got behind her so much. And we have a new women's champion. Bayley got the win after hitting her finish, the rose plant. Io actually countered one of the rose plants like a minute before, which was like an insane counter. She just got up on her feet and looked like an absolute boss in doing it. But yeah, Bayley hit a rose plant and is the new WWE Women's Champion. Fully deserved win for Bayley. She's never had a one-on-one match like that at WrestleMania, and she deserves it for all her hard work she's put in. Really was a phenomenal match. It really was. We give that one 4.25 stars. Great match. And we've already mentioned the main event, which was unbelievable. So, yeah, there you have it. That was WrestleMania Night 2. Arguably one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time, I have to say. I'm in agreement with a lot of people that you see on social media posting the same kind of thing. What a fantastic event. Night 2 was a lot better than Night 1, I have to say that. I think the temperatures really affected the crowd and possibly some of the performers on Night 1. Not to say Night 1 was bad, because it was very good, but this Night 2 was just something else. Absolutely incredible night of wrestling. And do you know what? Just a fantastic, fantastic day and night to be a pro wrestling fan. Well, that was WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes is your new WWE Universal Champion, and we are going into a new era of WWE, so sit back and enjoy the ride, people. It's going to be amazing, as WrestleMania was last night. So thank you so much to everybody for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to One Stop Wrestling on YouTube, and go and follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and we will see everybody next time for another One Stop Wrestling podcast.